I'm Chris, this is my wife Nikki, and this is our wonderful and amazing son Louie.
We brought Louie home on 24 hours notice. The support that we got from our family and friends was just overwhelming. We had meals showing up on our doorstep, and gifts. I still get choked up about it.
Wow. And I think the night that we brought Louie home, for us, I mean, it was certainly overjoyous. I know that Nikki teared up a little bit, but it was, it was just the beginning, and this little guy's changed our lives in the best possible way. The adoption process where we started was my wife and I both combating some fertility issues, and we decided to, instead of pursuing that further, to go ahead and make our own little adoption plan and try and build a family through adoption. And so we started looking for different agencies. And
well, when we were looking to adopt, we did some research on some of the local agencies, and we visited several of them, just went to open houses and things, and we decided on Adoption Connection because we really liked the staff that we found there. We felt, excited about the support that we would get with the Celebrate Adoption program. It was unique to a lot of the different agencies in town.
I would agree. What led us to Adoption Connection was really the support that was going to be offered, and really felt like, looking around town, that we were going to have support even up until our child was 18 and beyond, and really liked that about what Adoption Connection offered.
So, starting the adoption process, we applied to Adoption Connection, and then we began classes. And they were 4 Saturdays where we got to hear about different adoption issues. We had different speakers who had different points of view in the adoption process. We had adult adoptees. We had actually a teenager who came and spoke about, with her birth mother and her adoptive parents, about her life and just openness. So we got kind of the full spectrum of what to expect, and just different scenarios and different developmental issues that an adopted child encounters or may encounter in their life. Then after that, we did our series of home visits with our social worker, and after we were approved, we there were actually
I would say that those classes helped fill us in on what those home visits were going to be like as well, which takes a lot of the fear out of what you're in for. It lets you know this is how everything is going to go, and the paperwork that you need to fill out. So I thought that was very helpful from those classes as well. And then we did get into the home study phase. And so, you were going to say? I think the home study phase was, something that maybe a lot of people dread too, and I think we did as well, but only because we really probably were concerned about somebody looking under the bed for dust bunnies.
It's not a difficult process. I think the thing to remember is that the folks here at Adoption Connection want us to be parents as much as we want to be parents, so they're here to help us. But they're also doing their jobs and making sure that our home is a safe and loving environment for our child. So I think if you keep that in mind, there's not much to worry about.
Yeah, and I think that there's not much to worry about in terms of process. The people helping you, I don't think as an adopted parent, as you wait, that you can help but worry about when you'll have a placement, when that'll happen. That's natural, I think, and that will cause a lot of worry, but try and be positive and realize that I agree that the people at Adoption Connection are there trying to help you through it as much as they can.
It's great. We've waited a long time to become parents, and so finally becoming parents was just exceeded our expectations.
And I think it'll give you the biggest smiles, the biggest heartwarming moment you'll ever have. It'll also make you a little tired, but that's okay. It's worth that sacrifice. And so, but there's, you get lots of smiles from a child. You get to give lots of hugs, and there's lots of feeding, lots of diaper changes, and that's okay. So there, so that you get to do that, and you don't mind doing it because you love your child.
I think it makes you appreciate the small things a lot more, and it definitely makes you learn how to live in the moment a little bit more because they grow so quickly. We do have an open relationship with Louie's birth family. They've been to our home. We email with them regularly. We see them pretty regularly. In the first year, we've seen them several times. And they plan to be part of his life, and we're very excited to have them, be willing to see him regularly, to know him, and I do think that it's important to know where you came from. In order to know who you are, so I'm excited that he really has that bond with them.
Adoption is already a word that's in use in our household. He'll understand that word. We have books that talk about adoption from an age that even he can understand when he's 1-2 years old. We read them to him already, and so
we tell him his story frequently. He's only a year old at this point, but we still will tell him the story of how he came to be part of our family. So we use the term adoption a lot. We, obviously we do have a relationship with his birth family, and so we talk about that now. I don't think he understands it just yet, but we plan to continue talking about it frequently. We're working on a life book for him, to kind of tell the story of his birth family and us, and how he came to be part of his family.